Good morning and welcome to the final day, finally, of the Pennine Way. "18 miles to push from the hut. I've made a mega early start. There's a few folk camping down there overnight. They walked from Bellingham of all places. So today, it's just going to be a plod. It was really cloudy overnight, but it's beginning to lift. Last day. It's been uphill from the Celt shelter all the way, so just got to the trig point on Lamb Hill. Hopefully it'll flatten out for a bit for a while. Not really enough light still at the moment to read the map, and the mist keeps coming across occasionally. But if I can get maybe 4 or 5 miles done by 9 o'clock, that'd be the perfect start. Something's just beginning to poke out the cloud. Oh. I'll just pretend there's some good views down there. It's a bit like the day at Hike Up Nick. But I think this will all lift eventually today. Yeah, the next goal is Windy Gale, and I'm not liking the fact I'm going down because it means I'm going to have to go up again. And just as I turned the camera off, the mist cleared. According to the map, I should actually be on the other side of this hill, but I'm quite happy contouring round just at the moment, rather than gaining the height, and hopefully this will just meet up with the track on the other side. But I mean, it's worth it just for these views. As long as this doesn't start going down. So, a bit of advice. As much as it's tempting, don't do what I've just done. Because you'll have to climb over the bloody hill anyway. But that big lump just to the right of the sun is Windy Gale, and when I get there I think I've got about 13 miles left. Or something of that ilk. But sunrise in the Cheviots is already proving to be something quite special. Looks like they'll be building a bridge at some point, but when you see this, do not go anywhere near that. I've just poked it with my stick, and if you go in it, oh shit, you probably ain't getting back out in a hurry. Right. like that. Quite a few feral goats around this morning. There's the climb up Windy Gale. It's just been a nice short sharp climb. We got that one to go. That's probably a false summit as well. Aye boy. Not much to see today, but we have reached the top of Windy Gale. So I think that makes it about 13 miles left into Kirk Yetholm. Seven miles to the Shell. With the cloud down as it is, there's not been a great deal to show you this morning, unfortunately. Just long stretches of slabs, which is great for progress. And then other times it's quite rough going, but I've got to say, in general, it's probably not as hard as I thought it was going to be. That doesn't mean it's easy, but when you take the climbs out of it, the way's been generally pretty good and relatively gentle. But I'm getting close to the big one now, so and maybe something like 3 or 4 kilometres, possibly a little bit more from the foot of the Cheviot. I'm not going up. I've made that decision already. Especially if it's like this, it'll be a long way for nothing. But wow, I'm just plodding at the moment, and eventually I'll get to the border hotel for that pint. Always strikes me as a bit of an odd sign for up here. I've seen that on the Facebook page and various things. 6 miles to the Shell. Oh, slowly and surely. Oh, mist has actually cleared for a bit. I've not seen another soul this morning since I left the shelter. Must have 4 or 5 miles to the next one, so I'm going to have a good long break there. But just had my head down and in the mist and going for it. It's been great. Pretty easy going, keeping a good pace up for maybe 2 or 3 miles actually. But I've hit a bit of a hill, so it's slowed me down a little. Oh, I've just had a break for about 20 minutes. Absolutely everything is seized up right before this climb. So this is going to be slow and steady, I think. I'll at least get to enjoy the view. Well, this feels like a real watershed moment. Path to the Cheviot off to the right. Feels like we're on the last lap, so I'll be turning left and heading up that way. There's no way I could get up there today. Maybe sometime in a different life. Well, 3 miles to the Shell. Probably got about 8 to go, something like that. I don't know, I'm just guessing now, I haven't looked at my walk meter. But definitely 6 miles from the hut. And once I'm at the hut, I'm just going to sit and have an hour, I think. If I can get some water, I'll maybe do some cup of soup or something. Oh boy. It's strange actually, coming back and finishing it. I've got mixed feelings. I think had I reached this point in one go, right here would just be such a feeling of elation, knowing that you're only maybe 7 miles from Kirk, Yetholm, within touching distance. The last bit would just be done with a spring in the step, I guess. But having had to bail out and come back, it's kind of bittersweet actually. But I'm certainly glad that the weather's good today, because coming over here in the rain would have been pretty horrendous. So still a few lumps and pumps to go, including the Shell. We got a drop and then a bit of a climb back up to the last hut. But yeah, I've done it, bar the shouting. There's the hut. just at the top of a nice hill. Just sat and had maybe about an hour in the refuge hut. One I stayed in last night actually. It's extremely basic but comfortable enough and warm enough. I think the temperature dropped quite a bit last night. Just with my carry mat and my sleeping bag it was fine. Last stretch now, last climb over the shell, and I'm going to drop down and take the lower route because I'm knackered. It's been a long day, and the mist is still down, as you can see over here. And the last big one, the kick in the trossachs at the end of the whole thing. So I've got to get up and over that. The summit of the shell is there somewhere. I'm reliably informed there's some fantastic views from the top. Yeah, well, it's dry, I suppose, that's the main thing. Finally a bit of flat. The last 3 or 4 miles have just been brutal actually. Getting up to the bottom of the Cheviot, the descent, then up to the hut, then that climb up the shell was a real toughie right at the end. Having come down a bit, I'm beginning to get some views, but yeah, I'll be pleased to see the end of this, I'm not going to lie. And I should be crossing the border for the last time very shortly. The route sort of ducks in and out of Scotland, right across the Cheviots. The fence line is the border. So we should cross for the last time. I think it's just at the foot of the next hill actually, that looks to be where it is. So while I'm on some good ground, my thoughts on the Pennine Way. Well, where to begin really? When it's good, the trail is second to none. Really, some sections that are just mind-blowingly good. Malham, Penny Ghent, Teesdale was just beautiful. Didn't get the full benefit of High Cup Neck. going down into Wensleydale, the walk from Thwaite to Keld was just beautiful. But for me, there's so much, how can I put it, it's the bits in between that turns into a bit of a slog. So much moorland, really, I think, and it does become a bit tedious at times. That's just for me. Certainly there's folk who get the Pennine Way bug and almost live on the trail. And the one thing I've found as well is that there's a real trail community spirit to the Pennine Way, that everybody helps everybody. People go right out their way to help you, and not to mention that the spine race as well. I've got some utmost respect for those guys and women that race the spine. That is just mind-blowing achievements. To do this in a couple of days, hours, I'm not even sure what the record is now. I'll pop it on screen. But to be able to run 260 odd miles in a couple of days over this terrain is just incredible. Anyway, I need to get through this gate. So, would I do it again? Probably not. I certainly think there's more enjoyable trails out there. It's been a challenge. It's been a challenge that I relished. I'm still frustrated that I had to come off trail when I did. But I've got back, I finished it. Yeah, I've done it. Oh, right. Yeah, I've done it, I've enjoyed it, or I enjoyed most of it. Generally got really lucky with the weather over the days that I was walking. I think I really only had one bad day, and that was from Gargrave to Malham, if I remember rightly. The other was the sort of second half of the Langdon Beck to Dufton. But yeah, it's a tough trail. It's the granddaddy. I've had an ambition to do it for quite a long time. I've done it. Yeah, I've got other trails to look at now. So hopefully the coast to coast later on in the year. Anyway, on this one I've still got about 4.5 miles to do, there or thereabouts, so I better get cracking. So nice, open, grassy track, good surface. The descent here looks quite steep on the map, even though it's on track. And it's the killer for me today has actually been coming down more than the going up. But I think once I'm down, we're down and it's relatively flat. All the way into Kirk Yetholm. I'm just glad I don't have the final ups and downs of the main route to go. But it's been an epic 2 days, I'll give it that. Really tough 2 days. There's a reason I think that most folks say that the first 2 and the last 2 days of the Pennine Way are the hardest, and I don't think I can disagree with that too much. But what a trail, I'm glad I've done it. Very much glad I've done it. Glad I won't be doing it again. It's been an experience, and generally a good experience. It's I know how difficult long distance hiking can be, and to get to the end of any trail is always an achievement, but this one's something else. And in a way, actually, just walking round the corner, it's saving the best of it until the last. This is going to burn the legs though. This is glorious. I'm a bit lost for words actually. Today has been a slog, a really difficult day. You didn't get any of the benefits of the views up on the Cheviots because of the low cloud, but just this track, since coming across the border line, it's been a lovely grassy track, soft underfoot. This is the walking that I love best, and despite how hard the day has been and I'm absolutely knackered, I'm loving this. This is just stunning. It's amazing how things go, but this last little section into Kirk Yetholm is absolute gold. I think that's the first house I've seen since leaving Burness 2 days ago. Oh, sure sign we're reaching civilization. And the temperature has gone up about 10 degrees down there. I'm actually sweating buckets now, and I've got my fleece on because it was quite cool on top. Oh wow. And there it is, the final kick in the Trossachs. Kirk Yetholm's just on the other side of that hill, and the road goes straight over it. So yeah, that's just going to finish me off. In the grand scheme of things, it's not the worst kick in the gonads, but it's still the traditional kick in the gonads. Every time there's always one. So I'm just going to reach the place where the roots converge. And it's just a matter of going over the hill. One last hill. See the finish, and it's all done downhill. That may not be a good thing. Finally, almost a year late, I'm actually finishing. Typical bloody bus driver though, always late. Tell you, I'd love it if I could be doing 20 miles an hour just now. We have arrived in Kirk Yetholm. Oh boy, that was a day.